Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hi Priyanka, you can start the session. Other participants will be muted during the presentation. And once you have to ask them any questions,
Hi, is everyone joined?
yeah, people have joined, you can start your session.
Hello. Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah, your voice is audible.
Hello.
Yes, your voice is audible. Please check back with your headphones or
Hello.
speaker.
Hello. Hello. Okay, fine. Okay, I can't hear anyone. Can someone please speak?
Priyanka, you have to check your speakers. Hi guys, the session will start in a minute. Priyanka is connecting back. There's some issue with her headphones maybe or the speaker. She's connecting back in the meeting and she'll start the session. Also, this will be a proper software testing session. This is not a Scrum meeting. If you have any Scrum kind of issues, there's a Scrum meeting conducted by Yash Chandra Upadhyay. You can join that meeting and have your general discussions there. This meeting will be only for software testing course, which is being conducted by Priyanka. So it will be recorded, hence you guys are muted. If anybody has any queries, you guys can post it on chat. And once the session is complete, the video recording of the session will also be uploaded on the respective Trello cards, and the access will be provided through emails. Whenever as we have to provide the access, we'll give it accordingly. So this will be a speaker only session. She will be mentoring. Whatever questions you have, you can post your questions on chat. We will allow you in order whenever we need you to speak to the mentor. So we can allow you depending on the query or what kind of question you have related to software testing only in this session. Any other queries related to internships and Scrum will not be addressed here. All those queries will be addressed in the separate Scrum meeting, which is conducted by Mr. Yash Chandra Upadhyay. So if you have any Scrum issues, go there and speak with the Scrum manager. Now, this is a proper software testing course session. So all the people, you will be able to have the software testing session here. You can understand what all you need to understand through software testing, as well as the session is conducted. So Priyanka, is my voice audible now?
Yes, hi, I can hear.
Okay. And it
Right.
seems that there is some issue with the camera because the visibility is not clear of the camera.
Yes. There actually some issues with the camera, so I'll figure it out for tomorrow.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, Priyanka. So you can start the session. The instructions are given to the participants. In case if you get any of the internship related queries or Scrum related queries, you can inform the candidates that they can join the Scrum meeting. Scrum meeting is conducted from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on a different link. So if anybody brings any other query other than software testing to you, you can ask them to join the Scrum meeting conducted by Yash Chandra Upadhyay. That is conducted from Tuesday to Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay. And others, this session will be only dedicated to software testing course and software testing related queries. And the participants will be on mute mode so that there is no disturbance in the session and there is no disturbance in the recordings. And if they have any queries, they'll post the queries on chat. Please keep a check on the chat as well, so that if there is any query and if you want to address it at that moment, you can address it, or you can take the questions at the end of the sessions. At the end of the sessions, we can allow access to the participants so that they can have a one-to-one conversation with you. Okay, that we can do. But initially, during the presentation, during the technical delivery, it could be, speaker only mode. And if you want to have an interaction with the participants, do let me know. I will allow them to unmute them and speak with you.
Yeah, sure. Should I start?
Yeah, please go on.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So let's start with the software testing training. So initially what we will discuss first, because everyone is new over here and they don't have the basic knowledge of the software testing. So initially what we can do, we can discuss about the software testing basics. Okay, so yeah, so in software testing basics, we have like different testing terminologies. We have like test artifacts and the different technique testing skills and basically the principles of testing. So basically in today's session, we will discuss about what exactly is the software testing and what is the main principles of testing and yeah, regarding it. So basically, if we will see, first of all, the question arises like what is software testing? If anyone has any question, they can provide in the chat. So I will answer, or we can take it at last as well. So yeah. So basically, if we will start first, we all should know what is software testing. Right. So basically, software testing is nothing but it is the process of executing an application or a program with an intention of finding a bug. See, by the name testing, we can easily identify that testing is nothing only to find a bug in any of the application, right? Application is nothing but a code or an application, like you have a WhatsApp, you have a Facebook application, right? Nowadays we have a plenty of applications. We have a Mantra, we have a like Amazon, Flipkart, all other, these are the applications. And if we even talk about the testing thing, then what we have to do, we have to test these applications with an intention of finding a bug. That means we have to test all the features, like if we will go into the Gmail account, we will check whether we can compose a new mail, whether we can attach the attachment, whether we can send on the click part. So all these are testing, right? We are testing with an intention of finding a bug. We have to find a fault. Like for example, in any of the application, like in Mantra or maybe Facebook, sometimes you intend to find a bug that this is wrong or this is not correct as per the requirement. So basically it is it is like we have to find a bug, and this software testing is performed by a tester. In software industry, we have been divided into two categories, that is development and testing. So basically development is nothing but the development invention of an application, or we develop a new code, and testing is we test that application or we test that code, right? So it is performed, this software testing is always being performed by a tester. Development team can only do the development, they can't do the testing. They can perform the unit testing, but the complete process of testing is only being carried out by a tester. So if all, it's a very simple definition of software testing, that software testing is nothing, we process the any application with an intention of finding a bug. Okay, also we can see like in software testing is basically like this is not only about the finding the bug, but the correct application, the completeness of the application, and the quality of a software. We, being a tester, we give the confirmation that this application is now a defect free. No application is 100% defect free, but we can say up to certain extent, like around 80%, we can say this application is a defect free. We can give the benchmark that this this software has some, it's of a good quality, because if any application doesn't have much bugs, you can say its quality of a software is good, right? So there are basically two definitions, that first is the software testing is the process of executing an application or a program with an intention of finding a bug. That is the one thing. Second is software testing identify the correctness of the application, completeness of the application, and the quality of a software. Okay, so make these 2 points always be in your mind. What is software testing? Because whenever you are entering into the software testing, you should know what is testing all about. Fine. Now going forward, we should understand why do we need testing? Okay, this is a very important question. Why do we need testing? Why you wanted to learn software testing? Why? Okay, so testing is important since it discovers defects, bugs, and before the delivery to the client. That means testing is important so that before giving the final application to the client, right? See, understand the terminologies. We test an application, and application is given by the client or the product owner or by the company. Company is giving the application to us, that please team test this application. So before we deliver the final application, before we deliver the final application to the customer, boss, my application is now defect free, it is ready to work, right? So before we give the complete application to the client, we test the complete application to discover all the bugs, to maintain the quality of the software, right? So this is why testing is important, so that our application should be defect free, bug free, and we can maintain the quality of the software. Because no client or no customer wants application which is full of defects, which is not of a good quality, right? Suppose when Facebook application invent, when it comes to us, to when it comes to us, before it, a software team has tested the Facebook application, then only it has delivered to the audience to perform on the Facebook application. So likewise, any application which is developed, it is important for this application that we do the testing, thorough testing, so that that application is like defect free or the bug free, right? And this bug we have to identify early. Suppose we have been giving any application to test, and you have been testing that application for longer period, for 6-7 months. Later on, you will say, boss, this is the major defect, right? Then company again has to invest some cost to hire resources, and again they will test the application. So it's better we will identify the bug early so that it reduces the cost also, right? And it helps us in removing risks and other problems as well. So basically, why do we need testing? Because testing is important since it discovers the defects and bugs before we deliver the complete application to the client. Okay, this is the first thing. Second is that why do we need testing? Our main aim for the testing is to give satisfaction to customers. That means we do testing for the customer satisfaction, so that our customer will be like, they have that satisfaction that team has already tested my application. Now I can release this application to the audience or to the users. Okay, so first thing, why do we need testing? We need testing to discover all the bugs and defects. Second thing, we need testing for the customer satisfaction. Third point is like, we need testing so that we can make the software more reliable and easy to use. We can make the software more reliable and it should be easy to use, right? Fourth point is quality. Testing ensures the quality product delivers to customers. So there will be 4 points. Okay, always remember 4 points to make software defect free. Second point, customer satisfaction. Third point, testing is required to make the software more reliable. And through testing, we can ensure the quality product we are delivering to customers. Okay, so customer satisfaction, product quality, software more reliable and defect free. That is the 4 points that why do we need testing, right? Then going forward, we should understand, being a software tester, what is your roles and responsibilities, right? So what is the roles and responsibilities of a tester, right? So basically, software testing, one second, yeah. So basically, a software test responsibility of a tester understand the software requirements. Okay, being a tester, a project owner of the company will provide you the requirement. They will give you some requirements that was, please test my application as per the requirement. Like for example, if you have to test the Facebook application, right? Then Facebook owner will give you the requirement that please check, we can attach only 14 pics as per time. Please test as per the requirement that we can post only 2 comments in 10 minutes. So these all are the requirements. Accordingly only we will test the application, right? You need something, some parameter, on the basis of that you can test the application. Requirement will always be given by the company or by the product owner or by the client or by the customer, right? On the basis of that only you will test the application, right? So the tester's responsibility is understand the software requirements, and on the basis of that prepare the test scenarios. Second point is like creation of test cases, right? Test cases is nothing but the steps through which we will navigate to different, you can say, we can navigate the path, right? Suppose we have to open the Facebook, then what should be a test case? Test case is the different steps. First, we will enter the URL of the Facebook. Then we will give the credentials, enter username, enter password, click on login. So these all are the steps which we execute, and the complete execution steps, we named it as test cases.
Priyanka,
Okay.
sorry for the interruption.
Yeah.
Are you sharing a presentation? Because we cannot see any of the presentation on screen.
Okay, not yet, not yet. Okay, fine. I'm just going to share, yeah. One
Yeah,
sec.
that would be better for students to make notes if they.
Yeah, right, right, right. Uh, uh, can you all see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. So as we discussed, first we discussed about the software testing. What is the main software testing? So you all can understand these 2 points, which we have already discussed. Like first is the software testing is nothing, but it is the process of executing an application or a program with an intention of finding a bug. So main thing, always remember this thing, that we always test the application with an intention of finding a bug. Okay, this is the one thing. Second is what we have discussed. We have discussed that software testing is a complete process that identifies these 3 points, which is very important. Because yeah, so these 3 points, we as a software tester ensures that now the application is of a good quality, it's a bug free, and we can release the application to the customer, or we can release the application to the users. So always remember these 2 points, that that tells us about the software testing. Then what we have discussed why do we need testing. So always remember these 4 points which we have discussed. uh, we need testing since it discovers defects and bugs before the delivery to the client, right? And we should identify the bug early so that it reduces the cost as well. It makes our application risk free because we have delivered the major bugs. We have identified the major bugs in the early phase, right? And then we have the second point is we do the testing so that our customers will be satisfied that we have been, our application is already being tested. So now customer has some sort of satisfaction that the candidate has already tested my application. So now the customer will be feel free to release the application to the users. Okay, third point, if we do testing, we will make the software more reliable and easy to use because you have already tested as a user, or you can test it whether the application is user friendly or not, right? Then the fourth point is like we, our software tester, ensures the quality product that we delivers to the customers, right? So these are the 4 points which you can remember. Why do we need testing? You should understand all these points before you start with the main concepts of the software testing, right? Then we have our roles and responsibilities. So basically, first, what I have discussed with you all, that first we understand the software requirement, whatever requirement has been given by client. We prepare test scenarios, that on the scenarios, like whether the positive or the negative, we should prepare on the scenarios so that we should not miss any of the functionality of the application, right? Second is creation of test cases. We should know how to create the test cases. Third point is like we should know the execution of the test cases. Fourth is the logging a defect. When we will execute any test cases, if test cases got passed, right, there will be no defect. If test cases got failed, we can log a defect. That means we can find a defect. Okay, this is the defect. Then we have a preparing defect reports and the daily status report. From the testing point of view, if you are a tester, right, if you have a 1+ or 2+ years of experience, then it's your responsibilities to prepare the defect report. How many defects raised, how many defect closed, we will discuss about the complete defect life cycle later on, or the complete status report. How many work has been done, how many it is pending. So it's your responsibility to prepare the reports, right? Then we have our interaction with clients to understand product requirements. Being in the agile model of being in the software industry, you have to be like, you should have a good communication. You should have the ability to interact with the clients, because to understand any requirement of the project, you have to interact with the client. or with the product owner, or with your managers, or with your supervisors, with your seniors, you should first, before start with any of the testing, you should understand the complete application, what you are testing, right? Suppose you have to test the Facebook application, right? Then you should know what is Facebook, right? What is the feature of the Facebook? What is the functionality of the Facebook, right? Why we are using Facebook? What Facebook exactly do, right? So these all are, you should know before you start any of the testing, right? Then then you have to also, it's your responsibilities to be in the review meeting or the daily stand-up meetings. We will discuss when we will discuss the agile, what is daily stand-up. Daily stand-up is nothing but it is just the all the team members among themselves will tell us about what we have done yesterday, what work we have completed yesterday, what we are doing today, and what we are going to do the next day. Okay, these all, every team member has to tell us about these 3 points, that boss, yesterday I have completed this, today I am doing this, and tomorrow I will do this. So this is all being discussed in the daily stand-up meetings or in any of the review meetings. Review meetings means whatever we have completed till now, whatever is pending, or if we have any obstacles, if suppose you have any obstacles, that boss, I am facing this issue, I have an environment issue, I have, my application is not working, I have a different kind of obstacles, I am unable to understand the requirement. These all obstacles will be solved in the daily stand-up meetings. So meeting is always about to get the clarity of any of the stuff. Okay, through meeting you'll get to know what other team member is doing, right? Whether you are doing any mistake, how to rectify the mistake, and what are the time estimation, in how much time you have to complete the testing. All these things has been discussed in the review and daily stand-up meetings. Okay, fourth, the last point of being a software testing is like you have to ensure the quality of the product is maintained. Developer only will develop the code, but you are being responsible for the complete application, the quality of an application, right, before delivering to the customer. If any defect will get leak, or if any fault in the application, then being a tester, you have been responsible. Development team will not be responsible. You have been responsible because you have not noticed while doing any kind of a testing. So being a tester, you have to be very focused. You have to be very smart. You have to be, you have to be the complete knowledgeable in terms of the application, so that you can break the application. You have to give your 100% to find out the defect in the application. Then only you feel confident to say that this application is now 80% defect free, and a user can anytime use this application. There will be no major defects, and we have already tested the application. So you have to give that final confirmation. Okay, so this is one thing. Then going forward, we can discuss basically software testing divide into two types of a different categories. Okay, first is the manual testing, second is the automation testing. These two, basically software testing has been divided into these two categories. Manual testing, by the name you can easily identify, manual testing is nothing but the manual effort, human effort, right? We as a human prepare the test cases, understand the requirement, and test, and we will test the application by playing in the keyboard. It's a manual effort. Okay, we are doing it manually, right? And automation testing, automation testing is computer is doing the testing, or we don't have to test each step manually. we have to, by the use of automation testing, we can test the at least we can test the different test cases in very short span of time, and by running the scripts we don't have to manually perform each step. Okay, so manual testing is always being into the, it has been taking the more time as compared to automation testing, right? Automation testing is more cost effective, right? Because for manual testing we have to hire the 10 resources, but in automation testing only 2 or 4 resources can do the work of the 10 testers, right? 2 to 4 testers, automation testers can do the work of a 10 to 11 manual testers, right? So but before proceeding with any of the automation testing, you should know that our application is stable. So manual testing is A and automation testing is B, right? You can't jump to the automation testing before manual testing get passed, right? First, we have to perform the manual testing and then we will proceed with the automation one, right? So please remember all these points. What is software testing? Why do we need testing? What are our responsibilities being a tester? Because now after covering all these trainings, you have to become a software tester. So you should know your responsibilities and roles, right? If you're working in any of the IT industry, you should know your roles and responsibilities. Then we have a different categories like manual testing, automation testing. This is the major two different very broad categories, right? We have a plenty of things inside it. Then you should understand what is manual testing, right? Because initially, as I told you, manual testing is A and automation testing is B. You can't jump to the automation testing before manual testing. First, you have to perform the manual testing. You will see your application is stable. Then only you can perform the automation testing. Automation testing has certain limitations as well, right? You cannot perform all the features by automation testing. Like you cannot upload the file, you cannot test, you cannot open 2 browsers at one time, you cannot find out the logs. So there are certain limitations, right? And yeah, so basically now we will take into the deep what is manual testing. Okay, these all are the, whatever we are discussing till now, these all are the basics of our software testing. Before we go further into the detail, you should understand these terminologies. Okay, so manual testing, basically it is a software testing process in which we executed test cases without using any tool, right? Remember, in manual testing, it is the human efforts. It is the manual efforts by the man is doing. From the name itself, it is a human efforts. We are not using any of the tool. We are doing it simply manually by playing on the keyboard. This is the manual testing. And manual testing is also, we test to make the application defect free, right? And through in manual testing, we will execute our test cases without using any automation tool, right? All test cases executed by the tester manually according to the client. And if our test case will get passed, we can ensure that our application is working, right? Because manual testing is essential, because we 100% automation is not possible, right? And we cannot perform the automation till the time our feature is not stable. Okay, so this is the one thing. Then so you should understand these terminologies. What is manual testing? In manual testing, we execute the test cases with an intention of finding a bug without using any tool. Okay, and why manual testing is important? Because 100% automation is not possible, and to maintaining the application is stable, and to check whether the application is working as per the requirement or not, we have to perform the manual testing, right? Then we have a, why do we need manual testing? Okay, suppose as I told you, that if any feature is unstable or it is creating some problem for the end users, then that will be tested only by the manual testing. We cannot perform that through automation. Okay, so manual testing is nothing but a round of testing to make the application bug free and stable, and it deliver a quality project to the client. Remember this point which is highlighted in yellow, that we do testing to make the application bug free. To second point, to make the application stable. Third point, to deliver a quality project. These 3 points are important to perform the manual testing. This is our responsibility. Okay. Then we will discuss advantages of manual testing, right? First of all, manual testing does not require any programming knowledge or language. Like if you don't know Java, if you don't know OOPS, then also you can perform the manual testing, right? And second point, what is the advantage of testing? If requirements are changing frequently, right? Suppose in the morning, client has said that you have to test the Facebook application in terms of the requirement that one can upload only 10 pictures in a single day, right? In the evening, Facebook owners comes to you, boss, now my requirements are changed. Please make sure that 15 pics can be uploaded on the Facebook portal in a one day, in a single day. So that means requirement changes. You already work since morning for first requirement. Now the requirement are changed. So that means requirements are changing frequently. In that case, you can easily go and update your test case. So manual is suitable, right? So if requirements are changing every now and then manual is suitable, right? And also it is cost effective, easy to learn for new testers. Like you guys doesn't have much knowledge, so it is easy for you to learn the manual testing because it does not require any programming language. You don't have to learn Java, OOPS, C++, .NET, nothing. Okay, you can easily learn testing by knowing some terminologies, tools, and and the complete process, right? So, and as it is mentioned, it is cost effective. Why it is cost effective? Because it does not require any tool or the license tool. The tool which requires license, that is cost effective, right? Client has to pay certain huge amount of money to get that tool, right? To get the license of that tool. But in manual testing, it does not require any tool, any license. So this is cost effective. Only you just have to hire the resources and you can make them to perform the testing, right? So this is the advantage, that this is cost effective. It does not require any tool. It does not require any programming language. Okay, and it is easy for a new testers to learn, right? So these all are some advantage of manual testing. Then what are the disadvantages, right? Because as this is the human effort, so it requires a large number of human resources, right? Like you guys are resources. So company has to hire a number of resources, right? Because this is a manual effort. If there are if suppose the application has a very vast features, it has a 400 test cases, okay, and we have to complete the testing in 1 month, then two resources can't do it, right? Company has to hire at least 20 to 25 testers. So that means it requires a large number of human resources, right? And also it is very time consuming because human is doing manually, it is doing step by step testing, step by step testing, that requires a lot of time, right? It should not like you run the scripts and you go here and there, you are taking breaks. No, you have to continue continuously on the laptop while doing a testing. So this is little time consuming. So these are the, you should understand what is manual testing, why do we need manual testing, what is the advantage of manual testing, disadvantage of manual testing, all these things you should know before you step into the software testing industry, right? Then we should know what is a type of manual testing. There are three categories which we divide the manual testing. First is white box testing, second is black box testing, and the third is gray box testing, right? White box testing requires the knowledge of a software design or code. Okay, that means I'm talking about the second point, this white box testing, right? Let me highlight into the yellow mark. Yeah, so requires the internal working. Okay, that it should know. For the white box testing, one should know the programming language, the internal code, how the application is developed. So being a tester, you doesn't have a knowledge of developing a code. You don't have a knowledge of a programming language. You doesn't know how Facebook application is developed. No, you only know how to test it. Application is in front of you and you will only test it. You doesn't know how it developed, right? For example, let me discuss, for example, suppose you went into any of the restaurant, right? And once you'll get your dish, right? Anything. So you can test it how? By tasting it. You can taste and test. Yeah, this dish is good to eat and this is not in a good taste. You can test it by tasting, but you don't know how that dish has been prepared. What are the ingredients? You doesn't know the internal thing. You don't know how the restaurant chef has prepared the dish. That you have no idea. Okay, so likewise in white box testing, it should know the internal knowledge of a code that you doesn't have. So you cannot perform the white box testing. White box testing is done only by developers. Okay, so you should only know the definition of it. That's it. We don't have to go into the deep. Okay, so now what as a manual tester we focus on black box testing. Black box testing is performed by a tester. This is our main USP or main highlight before we proceed the testing. Like we have to perform the black box testing in a manual testing category. It is nothing, but it is the functional testing, not based on any knowledge of internal software design or code. For testing this, like as I have given you example, when we are testing any dish, that is the black box testing. The chef who is preparing the dish, that is a white box testing, right? So, one second. Okay, so yeah, so where were we? Yeah, one second. Yeah, so what we were discussing, yeah, about the black box testing. Okay, so black box testing is nothing but the major functionality testing that is not based on any knowledge of internal software design or code. That means you can test the Facebook application, you can test its functionality, that from where we can upload the pics, from where we can put the comments, from where we can see the pics, from where we can manage the profile, from where we can change the settings, where we can see the privacy thing, right? On that thing, we can, whatever, on these functionalities, when we will test, that is the black box testing. Okay, it does not require the internal knowledge how Facebook application has been prepared. No, we doesn't, we don't want to know how it is prepared. No, we only know the major functionality. We should know the understanding of the application so that we can test it, that we can test the application. So it is nothing but the function testing of the application. Okay, and black box testing based on requirements and functionalities, right? If any requirement has been given by the client, like we discussed, if client has given the requirement that boss, one user can only upload the 10 pics at one time, this is the requirement. Okay, then we can go into the Facebook application. We will check by uploading the 11 pics, and we can see no, Facebook application is only allowing us to upload the 10 pics. That means functionality is working fine. Okay, so we on the basis of requirements, we test the functionality. This is the black box testing. Okay, and it is done by testers. Just hard code this thing. It is just a functional testing. It is just the testing of the functionality, right? Very simple. White box testing, you know, it is being done by the developer. Gray box testing is nothing. It is the combination of white box and black box. That means one should know the internal logic, internal code, as well as the testing. That means development and testing both comes under gray box testing, right? Okay, and yeah, so the combination of it is known as gray box testing. We generally don't do, like we do in a very rare case. Okay, like in a very rare case, otherwise development will do the coding and testing team will do the testing. And if a single person do the development as testing, suppose if you have any startup company, okay, and they doesn't have much resources, and here development team is only doing the testing, that is called the gray box testing. That means developing the code and testing, both done by a single resource, a single candidate. This is gray box testing. You just know to know the definition of it, that's it. We generally from being a tester perform the black box testing. So we will take black box testing in deep. Okay, now the most important backbone of the testing cycle, backbone, right? The main, you can say the main backbone. What is exactly you understand by SDLC and STLC? Okay, so SDLC is nothing. It is the software development life cycle. Yeah, right. And SDLC is the software testing life cycle. Okay, so SDLC has been done by a developer. From the name itself, you can find out this is the development life cycle, right? And SDLC, from the name itself, it is a tester life cycle. Whenever we test any application, there is a sequence of steps which we perform to test any application, right? Suppose sequence, what you know what do you mean by sequence? Suppose okay, suppose so if you are preparing any dish, anything, like you can say if you are preparing chapati or anything, there's a sequence of step. First we will get the flour, right? Then or one second, let me give you the other example. Suppose if you are preparing any dish, anything, right? You have a certain steps, right? First, like if you have to prepare the rice, right? Then what you will do? First, you will boil the water, right? Then the second step, you will put the rice into it. Third step is you can stir the rice, right? Fourth step is like you will allow rice to boil. So these are the certain steps. Before we prepare the final dish, we have to go step by step. the step by step. So likewise, in development cycle also, we have to perform certain steps and activities, and in testing life cycle as well. So in software development life cycle, one second, let me enlarge it. Yeah. So yeah, so as you all can see, software development life cycle is nothing. First, what we will do is requirement gathering. Okay. Before we step in any of the activities, either the development, either the testing, we should understand the requirement. What client wants us to do, right? Suppose someone has given you any work, or someone has given you कि boss prepare that Excel or prepare the data of particular application, prepare the data for the uh, Gmail, like prepare the data, how many tests, how many mails are in the spam folder, how many mails are in the sent. So before you proceed with any of the activity, you should know what is Gmail is all about, what Gmail is doing. Likewise, before you proceed in any of the activities, you should know what is the requirement of the client, right? If client is giving you, suppose client said, boss, prepare sandwich. So you should know what is the requirement of the client. If you are preparing sandwich, client will give you the requirement that please put yeah, so client will give you the requirement that boss, put cucumber in the sandwich, put onion in the sandwich. That is all the requirement. You can't make it sandwich by your own by putting any random thing. No, client will give you the requirement, put tomato, put onion, put capsicum in the sandwich, put tomato sauce, put chili sauce. These all are the requirements which has been given by the client. You cannot decide by your own what you have to put in the sandwich. Okay, likewise, this is the requirement gathering thing. You have to gather all the requirement of the client, first step. Second, you will analyze the requirement, what that requirement you should understand. If you have any doubt, you have a meeting, right? You can interact with the client, boss, please let me know what is this all about, I'm unable to understand. Before you develop any application, before you test any application, get the complete knowledge. Okay, because half knowledge is very dangerous. Okay, get the complete knowledge, analyze the application. If you have any doubt, go directly to the client, project owner, your manager. Sir, please explain me the requirement. Okay, this is the second step of the software development life cycle. Third is design. When this is all about the development team, you don't have to go into the deep, but you should know what is SDLC. Okay, because this is the backbone of any software. So third point is like development team should know how to design the code. First, design the architecture. Suppose when Facebook has been implemented, Facebook developer or owner, or the who has developed the Facebook application, first he has designed anything. He has designed the architecture, where should be Facebook application should have this functionality, should have this, the complete structure. Then we have a coding. With the help of a language, Java, .NET, Python, we will develop a code, we will develop our application. Then now fifth phase is testing. Now your role comes into the application. After coding, after application develop, you do the testing. Then the sixth step is deployment. After you said, boss, I have tested the application, application is now defect free, application is of a good quality, application is ready, is good to go. So now you will deploy to the client environment. You will give the application to the client. Now it is perfectly fine. So this is the deployment. So this way, these all activities has to perform before we create any of the software, right? Suppose this way we have a STLC. In STLC, we first have to know the requirement as we discussed. Okay, then we have a test planning. We will plan the test, how we will perform the complete cycle of the testing. We will plan it. We should not go random, doing any random thing here and there. No, there should be certain steps, sequence of the steps. You have to perform the sequence, right? We have to plan the test planning. There will be a document called test plan, where you will mention uh, in how many days you have to complete the testing, what kind of a testing, what are the deliverables, what are the environments required. That all comes into the test planning. Then we have a test design. Okay, yeah, that is nothing but your test cases. Okay, then we have the environment setup. Okay, before you do testing, you should know whether you have the environment ready or not. Environment means whether, suppose you have to run the application in any of the environment, like Q1, QA1, SIT1, or Q21, any of the application, right? So you should know that it should present, that environment is ready where you can test your application. Then we have a test execution. After creating the test cases, we will execute the test execution, and then finally we find the bug and we prepare the test closure. That was after testing, 4 defects has been found by us, and this is the report, test closure activity. Right, so these are the STLC and STNC. You should remember both the things. That is very important. Now in the next session, what I will do, I will take STNC in deep. Okay, then you will understand the complete methodology and the complete steps. Now, in the meantime, you can remember all these terminologies. Fine. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priyanka. Would you want to take some questions? So guys, if you have any questions, we are just giving you unmute access. So anybody who has any questions, please raise your hand so that we can take your questions. These questions will be, it's already 8. So you have you posted any of your questions on chat?
No, they are saying.
Ma'am, can you please share this document on ST? We'll let you know
Yeah,
how the document will be accessible, guys.
yeah.
Any
Fine,
other-
I will update on this. Yeah.
Right, surely. Okay, thank you, Priyanka. Thank you for
Thank
a
you so
very
much.
explanatory session. And
Hello, sir. Hello, am I audible, sir?
who's this?
Sir, it's me, sir. Hello. Hello, sir, I'm audible. Sir, it's me. I'm Gaurav Kumar, sir. Hello.
Hi, I think you don't know the protocol, you have to raise your hands.
Sorry, sir. I was just, I was doing that, but like, sir, laptop my hangs actually, sir. Suddenly, it started my like
Can you
audio.
please stop for a minute?
Okay, sir.
So Priyanka,
Yeah.
thank you for the session today, and rest I'll see you on this tomorrow. Okay,
Sure.
how the documents and everything has to be shared. Right. Okay, people with their queries, please raise their hands. Gaurav Kumaria, what is your query?
Sir, my query is that I am not able to, like, I have no invitation from Trello, sir. So I can't able to see all the videos like previous I was attending, sir, because I want to, like, this video also I can't able to, because I have no Trello account from your site, sir. Even like,
We will let you know how to access the videos. If you want to access previous videos and all that stuff, it is available on Common Board. Okay, and this is not a Scrum meeting. Go to the Scrum meeting between Tuesday to Friday and take all these Scrum issues there. If you have any software testing related query, do let us know.
So I want only this video, sir. I don't have like Trello link, Trello from.
I think I have already explained it. We will decide to whom we should share the videos and how it is going to be shared. Once the process is clear, we'll inform you. Okay. You have already attended the session. Make sure you attend with 100% attention. Okay. The video sharing, we will get it sorted. Whether we have to give it to you or not, that is also our choice. We will work out on it and then we'll let you know.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you so much.